Hey Vlad, how are you?
Good. Tony, finally. Is it set to recording on your screen?
It says recording.
Finally.
Yes.
I apologize. I didn't present my professional the previous time.
No.
Yeah,
I think it's not that professional if you can miss a button. That's all. It's not a reflection on how professional you are. It's all good. All good, mate.
Yeah, Tony, you're looking nice. It's very nice weather. You said it's chilly?
Yeah, it's winter here, and just getting it's starting to be the ski season. So we're getting ready for we've actually got a lot of rentals in the snow, so that's why I know a bit about Strata.
Yes, we can start very quickly this time. Previous time we go over 40 minutes, but again, I'm going to ask you the same question, for which I apologize.
That's all right.
Take me about the challenge which you have with the Strata Corporation, whether it's a rental or with a residential where you have experience, please.
Yeah. Well, I live in my own house, so there's no strata issues. In our business, our residential property business, we own quite a few. Well, we can call it.
Yeah.
And
I'm losing you, Tony. Tony, I'm losing you.
Quite proactive, so actually proactive in okay. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, but I'm losing you, yeah. Okay, now it's okay. Can you hear me now? Hi, Tony, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but yeah, now it's okay. So I didn't hear nothing because it was kind of very slow motion. Can you answer again the question? What was the biggest challenge? I'm sorry. It's when you were moving, it was kind of cutting out.
Is it better when I'm outside?
I think so. When we started, it was better. I'm so sorry, Tony. I apologize. You have you have to sacrifice a lot for this video.
No, it's all good. The strata issues here are basically the biggest problem we find is because we got a lot of we do a lot of building, and we're engineers for a lot of builders, and they have to deal with the strata issues once a new building's erected.
I see.
And that becomes a problem for the builder because the strata managers here just I mean, like I said before in the previous meeting, we had a 43-page report outlining so-called defects, where we got it down to just 3 lines on 1 page. You know, like it's, you know, it was a big difference in opinions, but in the end, it was all sorted out within 1 day. You know, so 43 pages to 1 day of work, which and I think it might be the problem. The strata manager didn't know the legislation, or maybe like they'll look at they see everything as a problem, and they document that, and they see that as that's how I substantiate my fee. You know, although they get experts to do the reports, but they say, oh, we want to look like we're doing our job, which I agree with, but do it properly. Don't drag the builder in for insurance claims and whatnot. It's not a happy situation.
No, it's not. I completely agree. That's why in British Columbia, we, the strata managers, don't have that power. Many times the councils or the boards, they have the power, Tony, and they are confusing. They're confusing. You're right. The maintenance issue with the structural issue, and that's very, very a nightmare for the builders. You're right, because the builders here are more protected like this. Unfortunately, not in Australia, as you said, because the builders, they also have companies, they have lawyers, they have everything to protect them. Because imagine if they have to succumb to every complaint, which could be a maintenance issue. So,
well, most of it's a maintenance issue, but it's come to the point where builders they want to go broke so they don't have the maintenance issues.
No, so, I understand what you mean.
They will go bankrupt before the 7 years is up.
Yeah,
like they open up a few companies and so that legally they can still run, but I mean it's wrong. It's dead wrong. But
absolutely.
This is what happens,
So this is your biggest issue, understand, biggest challenge. Can you have any solutions for that? Do you think any solutions can you try to solve it, or you just walk away? I mean,
no, I don't think you can walk away. The solution is to have a very good strata manager who chooses the right people to do the reports, to do the work, and it's full where there's full transparency, and I can't see there being a problem. If there is an issue with a defect, sure, the builder has to fix it.
Yes.
They're not going to run away from an issue that they were the cause of. But when, like if you got a 43-page report and you don't know that if you're in the right or the wrong, these builders just, I mean, a lot of my builders are ethnic, and they're not up on legislation. They're not up on, the rules and regulations. They're just very good builders,
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're family people. So they're just trying to take care of their family to generate an amount of freedom for them. And I guess that's where it all comes down to. And the strata managers sort of putting these people in the corner. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, they've made a lot of money. They haven't. They just do their job, and they're trying to live their life.
Absolutely, Tony. Yeah, that's ridiculous when you're trying to make the living and somebody comes. Unfortunately, I didn't know that in Australia strata managers can do that, because here, as I explained, we are with tight hands. Even now, I spent 1 hour with a lawyer. One hour with a lawyer, because the strata council decided to take some money from the operating budget and to start repairing the fence, which is something common. But I know that there is an owner there who can object it. He can go to court, and he can start suing the strata council, including us. And I said to the lawyer, help me to get away from this. And he started to think about it. And after 40 minutes, that's why I was late to the conversation, Tony. I said, amen, I have to go. I have another thing. He said, why don't you explain the whole thing in the minutes? Public it, be transparent. Because I said, okay, what's going to happen? He's going to go to court, and what the judge going to say? All right, reverse the money, reverse the project. No, because this is already started.
It's already in place.
It's already in place, and we're not taking the money into our pocket. Neither I'm making money from that. I'm just making solution, because they don't want to make it right away, the $200,000. They want to make it 10, 20, then 50, then slowly for 6-7 years. So there's a plan of this madness. And we're spending, and the more I talk to him, the more I have to feel fear, and said, okay, man, let's make the solution for everybody. But you cannot please everyone, Tony. That's the issue. You cannot please everyone. So what did you think you work out, and what didn't in this scenario which you explained to me, Tony?
I think the strata managers just have to work closer with builders and the owners. You know, the owners of the corporation, because that will at least have a yearly meeting where the builder turns up and says, okay, what's the problem? Any problems? You know, instead of a 43-page report at the end of the liability, where, you know, like it doesn't serve anyone, because what happens is the builder gets defensive and gets solicitors involved, and you know, like it's becomes a bigger fight than what it has to be. Whereas if the liability period, I mean, not everyone knows the liability periods here. That's the other thing, you know. So if it's a 3-year liability period, every year let's get together and we go and walk through the units and do whatever we have to do. Okay, it's very easy to fix when it's a small problem. When it's a big problem, 43 pages, you're going to send someone broke. You know?
No, and second, it's exaggeration, I believe. And third, as I explained to you before, we are not engineers. Engineers starting 6, 7, 10 years to be engineer. The same like doctor and lawyer. And I said, that's why I spend with the lawyer so much time, because I said, give me some solutions. And he can give me, but he says, I cannot guarantee, man. And I said, okay, you cannot guarantee, but that's why I advised you. I mean, there's no guarantee.
How many people in this building?
100.
Yeah. So you can never please 100 people, and especially when there's 100 different incomes. You know, not everyone has the same sort of you know, revenue that they build, and that's going to be always a problem for you. You know.
I understand. But at least I saw the light in the tunnel, where the law here in Canada says if it's a safety issue, security, they can pursue. You understand? The Strata Corporation can pursue, because if it's a small upgrade, let's say we want beautiful park or we want beautiful parking, then of course they're gonna slap you right away. So there is an issue. But it's on a thin ice. It's always on a thin ice, Tony.
Yeah, fair enough.
What would you recommend to the others with this challenge? If you can recommend.
I just recommend that they have basically you got to set up the best strata you can. I mean, you've got to have systems in place that, okay, when things go wrong, that you can move quickly. If you talk to the builder straight away, it's very easy. Don't let things get out of hand. Like if there's a little patch on a wall that you have to fix, it's easy to fix up a little patch, where to do the whole wall, get scaffold, and you know, all the regulations involved, and you know, it's so much easier to just get one tradesman to fix it on a weekend, where it's done and dusted, and you don't need strata approval, because I mean, most of the time you will know that there's a problem. Instead of going to the owners, just talk to the builder. Okay, there's a little problem here. Can you fix it? If he doesn't fix it, then there's a problem. You talk to your corporation. That's when, because then your meetings are shorter. Everyone's happier. Your fees are probably less. You know, I don't know. Like it's
That's why you see it.
Yeah, I think it's probably easier to set up a system where, okay, we have basically you have the fight organized beforehand, where obviously there's not going to be a fight because you've organized it from day one. Okay, there is an issue. This is the protocol to follow.
Absolutely.
And then it's okay. There's no problem, because then they see you doing your job. Like they actually, you give them the guarantee that, okay, when there's a problem, we've got this guy ready to go. And they've been approved by you guys. You know, he's the builder anyway, so he's liable, and that's how you would. That's how I imagine I'd approach it anyway.
I understand.
You know?
Yeah, that's good. What are some things to look out for? What do you think we can be changed, or what the possibilities, Tony, you think it can be changed? You mentioned that transparency is one of it. Maybe something else, if you come to your mind, Tony.
Maybe there might be a better way to do this strata thing where there's actually when they purchase the property, look, it's always going to be more expensive anyway. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think. You need to build a buffer there, so when maintenance issues come up, you're ready to roll. You know, instead of just waiting for things to fall over. You know, that's when it becomes a big bill at the end.
Yeah, when you procrastinate it in a couple of years or 10 years, then.
Yeah, like these owners. The one with the I think you were saying the 100 in a year in the building.
Yes.
Like it was a major fee, wasn't it?
Well,
they want to do it $10,000 at a time each year.
I mean, they want to make it $20,000 now, and then the rest maybe the rest they're gonna make it every year. But if they make it for 3-4 years, it's okay. But if they make it for 5-10 years, then maybe too late.
Well, then pardon me. Then the other way around it would be these strata companies can fund it, so they will go to a bank, get finance, and then charge the corporation on top. That's a very good way for you to make money.
I'm not making money from that. But
no, I know, but that's actually that would make. I mean, that's changing the way the system works a bit, but it's sort of thinking outside the square. But these people, I'm one of these people. I don't want a $200,000 bill.
No, nobody wants. Nobody wants.
But over 10 years, I could handle 20, you know, or 22, and then you. Yeah, and then you as the strata manager and the financier, and you're governed by the law, you can always charge the $2,000 or the $4,000, and you'll probably make more money out of that than any management.
Yeah, and probably in Australia it's different as I am hearing, because here we don't make any money from that. We don't have any.
No, I don't think they do here either. But I'm just trying to come up with a solution that I just thought of on the run. You know?
And that's what the lawyer was suggesting, that they say the moment you start that way, you have to continue that way. You're right, because the moment, let's say we start with 20,000 each year to repair part of it, rather than boom, hit 200,000 special levy or CRF or sinking fund as you have it, and you empty the sinking fund and that's it. So it's a dangerous situation.
But then they got special
levy.
Yeah, they have special levies. That's right. So we just had we had one of those issues on one of the buildings that we own on the beach here in Sydney, and that was because of the salt in the air. We had to get some special funds injected. So, but we actually wanted it because the building was getting deteriorated. You know.
You're obliged to do it by the law. It's the same as in Canada. If you do something like that, you're obliged to maintain the common property, which I say, So, what did make the difference when you did this challenge? What did you learn? Did you make you stronger? What did you see? Did you change the property manager, the strata manager, or no?
No, I never changed the strata manager. Ultimately, it comes down to the big problems come about when people don't turn up to the meetings. People don't care that the meetings are on, and things get voted, and no one knows what's going on, really. I think that's... So I think everyone's just got to be proactive, and I guess you guys have to set up times where everyone can make it. That's the... Like, I don't know how you guys do it over there.
Yeah. We're making evening meetings with the councils, with the Strata Corporation Council. So
on property or
on the property, and then we meet and we discuss for 2 hours. It's included in the contract. And after 2 hours, we have to charge them. But here comes the kind of the anxiety that if you start to push it, then they can fire you. So it's a very flexibility.
No, I believe you have to charge, otherwise you don't do it. You don't do it properly. If you don't charge, you don't do it properly. Simple as that.
Yeah, you're right, because people taking advantage, and this is the... Sorry to interrupt you.
That's it, and
I understand you.
Right.
2 hours, and I agree with you, because it's a business. This is not wishy-washy stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a very important job. I mean, why did they employ you if they're not going to get charged? You know?
And I'm trying to be flexible also, and I'm always, because I'm watching the guys. We have 15 minutes more. We have to finish, and if something.
But I'll like Joel says, just add value, add more value than they expect, and then they're happy to pay. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not pushing it. I'm adding value. Like today, let's say I have to go after the work to deliver the key, and the lady says, "Oh, how much you gonna charge us?" I said, "No, I'm not charging you, because you see, to drop a key is not a big issue. I mean, you have to be flexible. You have to be human. They're gonna remember that.
Yeah,
this is the trick here, what Joe is teaching us. They're gonna remember the value. You're right, because if you be nitty gritty from the get go. Yes, they don't like to do business with you. They say, okay, they're gonna charge us for every phone call or for every email. No.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah, you're a lawyer.
I mean, we need them. We need lawyers when we need them. So I'm happy to pay for them. We have to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we walk the streets with guns and you know. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Tony, for your time, and I hope you learn something from me. The same I'm learning from you, and hopefully one day we're gonna meet. As you said, Whistler is coming.
That's right. Where are you, in Vancouver?
In New Westminster, which is very close. New Westminster was the old capital of British Columbia, and it's about 30-40 kilometers from Vancouver. So it's nearby, and
because we usually fly into Vancouver and then catch a bus up to Whistler, which
Excellent.
is I think it's only about 2 hours, isn't it?
2 to 4 hours drive.
I usually fall asleep on the bus, so and then like one year I actually fell asleep from the airport and then woke up. And it was snowing, big chunks of snow, and like all the kids went crazy. It was fantastic. It was actually Christmas Day.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Tony.
Right.
See you around here. Thank you, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.